Hi everyone, welcome to Living with the K's. I'm Kadaicia-loi and this is my husband,
Karim, and you're now officially living with the K's.
Welcome to our home. So we feel like, well,
just go for it. So I'll just put this out there. This is raw, this is unfiltered. We're still trying to figure this out together as we're going about it. And I'll be very honest with you all. This may be the first of the last episodes, or this may be the first of many more episodes.
Right. Basically, we wanted to come together and share a little bit about our journey. I think throughout the 7 years that we've been together, a lot of people have reached out to us and kind of just asked us, what do you guys do? Like, how did you find this happiness? Especially knowing the past that we had. So this is Living with the K's.
I don't know anything about her past and what she's talking about with that, but I'll come out there and say, listen, I'm afraid to do something like this. I've watched people build couples shows and channels and their relationships sour, and it's scary. You don't want to be the couple that's out there on video saying, hey, this is what you do to make your relationship stronger, and then God forbid something happens. But
I haven't seen those shows, but
I believe and I hope that's not our fate.
yeah, we're here to support you all and just share a little bit of the things that we think are helpful for couples to have a successful relationship.
I also will say, like, our lives have been filled with incredible community, incredible family, really happy and fulfilling careers, and just have been surrounded by so much abundance. And I think for us, it's really about finding those things that have worked for us, sharing them with the hope that you get something valuable from them. Maybe it's a better relationship, maybe it's a better day, maybe it's just a better moment, and maybe it's just you learned something and you're gonna keep going with that.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
So why us? Like, what makes us qualified to do this?
I think in terms of qualifications, like, we've been doing it, we're happy. It's been a good amount of time and we started young and we're still growing and developing and learning together. I think, yeah, just in terms of seeing a couple that's real and like genuine, like we are those people. None of this is fake.
It's true.
So I think that's part of the story, and we're not perfect, and we've gone through ups and downs and like any other couple. So I think that's kind of what adds to the credibility as well. It's like, this is real.
We're also multicultural, if y'all haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I met my wife because I love dance hall, but there is not a Jamaican bone in my body. I'm actually Egyptian and first generation. And so as you can imagine, there's a complexity with being a first generation Egyptian in America. And sure, my wife can speak to some of that too, right?
Yeah.
Being Jamaican and Chinese.
Yep.
And then trying to blend that cultural dynamic, right? What does it look like when a Jamaican and Chinese family comes together with an Egyptian family in the United States?
Yeah.
2020, right? That era. What does that look like? What does it feel like from a cultural standpoint? What are the awkward conversations or the funny jokes?
Yeah.
And impersonations that we saw a bit of this weekend?
Oh my gosh.
But we'll share those, we're here for it. I think being millennials, growing up in today's time, a lot of the advice, perspective we were given from older generations, I think it's a different time. I think there's a different application, and I hope that this perspective that we're gonna add to what's happening today will just give you something new and modern.
Yeah.
Right? What does it mean to date today? What does it mean to be in a committed relationship today? What does it mean to like discuss religion even?
Yeah.
Such a heavy, complicated topic.
Yeah, I think the big thing is also us coming from different, not just backgrounds of like religion and race or ethnicity, but it's also like we grew up differently. So
I would agree with that. I
yeah.
think. And when you say that, I think she
There's
means economically. So
yes, economically we grew up differently, but
you just want to say it?
that you grew up poor.
I grew
basically
up poorer than Kadaicia.
Yes.
Financially poor.
Financially.
Not, anything else. Everything else was there in spades.
Yes.
But today, multiple degrees, both graduated, have our graduate degrees from Columbia. I went to Cornell for undergrad, Kadaicia went to Hamilton.
Yeah.
in that have built really successful careers. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of the success that I've had on the business side has really come from having a loving, supported, and committed partner. And I just want to say I appreciate you for that.
Oh, stop.
I mean, for real, it makes a big difference.
No, I agree. I can think back to even when I was thinking about business school, and I was like, oh, there's no way I could get into Columbia. Like every school I was looking at was just outside of New York. So I was like, I don't want to stay in New York. I met Karim and he's like, like let's move in together. Like you could go to school here. And I'm like, all right, fine, we'll see. And then I put all of my eggs into NYU and Columbia and it ended up working out. But I definitely wouldn't have worked as hard and like studied as hard had I not had your support. So,
and I will say the same, building a business, going through the ebbs and flows of that roller coaster, there's moments where it's really trying, and having a committed, supportive partner who's encouraging you, who's pushing you to walk in your purpose, who's reminding you when to pray and call on God because the answers aren't there, makes a really big difference. And
it's a game changer.
I love it.
Yeah.
And when I think about our relationship and when I think about this, I know people are asking you for advice, but no one's asked me for any advice. So maybe I'm not as outwardly happy about my relationship, but I am really happy in my relationship. But it was just, how do we replicate this? That feeling, that almost like that childhood, like romantic vision you have as a kid, that Romeo and Juliet story that we kind of study in school, and
right,
wanting that like hopeless, romantic kind of like feel to it. And I feel like we have that.
Yeah, I'd say we're also best friends. It's not like, this is only my husband. Like,
it's true. We do spend a lot of time.
yeah. So.
And we want that for other people.
Yeah.
I think if you have that strong, committed relationship at home, it makes all of your other relationships more abundant.
Yeah.
So we created a term for it.
Yeah.
And really starting this channel out with, I think what any of our friends would say about anything that we do it with intention and with purpose.
Yes.
And so we're really talking about building a more purposeful world of we're taking a play on the power couple and calling it
empowered couples.
Empowered couples.
Right.
What does that mean? I think we defined it too.
Yeah, we did. So we wrote this down. We wanted to make sure we got it right. An empowered couple is a power couple committed to their relationship, creating resilient families, vibrant communities, and using their teamwork to make the world a better place.
And if you don't know me by now, I have my core value in making a difference. Sometimes it gets on Kadaicia's nerves because I'm thinking about that more than I'm thinking about my health or anything else. But I genuinely do believe we were put on this earth to serve.
Yeah.
And so I think this channel and hopefully what we'll continue to do is another manifestation of just serving what God's kind of put into our lives.
Yeah, and paying it forward.
Paying it forward. Also being in education, I work with so many children and I just know how important a nuclear family is. And who aren't just loving, encouraging, and nurturing to the child, but loving, encouraging, and nurturing to one another.
Yeah.
Because children, right, they don't do what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
They do what they see.
They watch everything.
And so just as important to model as it is to sort of like radiate. And so I think when we're talking about this and why we care so much about that nuclear family, I think it goes back to my like studies and research and everything in education. And so if we can make more committed, solid families, right, or if we can build those couples up, then we'll have more families and hopefully better educational outcomes.
Yeah, a better world and society in general.
And I think everyone wants that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not thinking about it day to day in the same way that we do.
This is why we're the Albanavas. So.
But that comes with the privilege of all of it. So just two sort of disclaimers or things I want to keep in mind for you all. We're not here to give you advice. So we're not going to tell you what to do, and we don't expect you to do anything that we're doing.
Just sharing our perspective.
That's it. Share what we know, maybe share how we handled something. Maybe this video prompts a conversation. Maybe it prompts some reflection.
Yeah.
Maybe it prompts you to act, right? And I think any one of those three things are really powerful. So that's the first disclaimer. And the second one is, our relationship is not perfect. I think we're learning, we're growing every single day. I don't think that, I know that. We are learning, we're growing every single day. And
yeah, and we've come a long way.
We've definitely come a long way, and I think we still have so much
So
more
much.
to go.
Yeah, as you can see, we're expecting. So life's gonna change a lot very soon.
But this also just sort of segues into our values
Yeah.
for living with the Ks and sort of what we want from folks who are working with us. I think at the top of it, we said we wanted to be all in. So whenever we think about empowered couples, we're thinking about people who are all in. And I think that is where successful relationships start. It's this commitment. No matter what, we are here for the relationship, and everything else that people talk about, date nights, therapists, weekly check-ins, discussions about values, all of those things are tactics or strategies that
they're
follow.
helpful. Yeah.
But it really starts with being all in.
Yeah. Committed no matter what.
And I would say, like, if there's challenges in that relationship, it is probably a commitment challenge first, and then something else, because every other problem is solvable.
Yeah.
I think I live in this space of everything is figure outable. It took a while from a business standpoint, a life standpoint.
You're a problem solver, so that's just what
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
But so definitely all in, paying it forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think, we're not charging for this. This is free. They say advice is worth what you pay for it. But again, we're not giving advice, but this is free. And I hope that you'll use it and you'll share it, and maybe you'll learn something. And in the process, you'll be able to share it with someone else. Maybe it's not applicable or relevant to you today, but it's applicable or relevant to someone else in your life.
Yeah.
And so share it, forward it. Maybe you like to give advice, so go give that advice. Leverage what we're sharing with you all and make the world a better place. We really do want to push this ethos of paying it forward.
Yeah.
And then the last one is continuous evolution. And so all that means is that you're coming here with an open mind and you're ready to learn, and you're going to use that learning to evolve, to act, to reflect, and do something differently, right? There's nothing worse than being stagnant because the world is ever changing.
Yeah.
And I think coming into a relationship, I know Kadaicia could attest to this, I could definitely attest to this, that I'm not the same person that I was when we met.
Yeah.
God forbid, right?
Yes.
So we want you all to be committed to growing, to evolving, and to recognizing that maybe the way you're operating is just one way, and there are other ways out there to do it.
Absolutely.
So that's all. I hope that you'll join us on this channel.
Yeah.
What else do you want? Do you want to share anything else with them?
I think that sums it up. It's really, we're here to serve, whether you're single or in a relationship. It's about the community, like we want to serve couples and individuals who are pursuing a loving, abundant, healthy relationship like ours, and anything we can do to support, we're here.
That said, if you all have ideas for future topics, things you all want to hear more perspective on, just reach out. I know we're always looking for ways to continue to help and empower other people. So this isn't about us. I think this is about how our story, our testimony, and all of that can be helpful to you. And so if you're not finding anything valuable in it, let us know too. I think that's good feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think either of us wants to waste any time.
No.
So welcome. We hope you'll join us for the journey wherever it takes us, and you'll get something out of the time and the energy and the love that we're putting out into this space.
Yep. See you next time.
See you next time.